things that we want to do for today, and then how do we do it, and then we implement. We do all the activities. Then at the end of the day, we go back to our list. Lahat ba ito nagawa ko? And then if hindi ko nagawa, anong gagawin ko? So that's a basic. On a daily basis, ang gusto kasi ni ISO, we incorporate this cycle, this system, this approach into our daily lives. If you do that on a daily basis, lahat ng ating processes will improve. Sa work man natin, sa personal man natin, sa bahay man, so we employ this plan, do, check, and act approach. Okay. So, kung titignan natin, ito yung quality management system, no? Ito yung standards na nakita natin. So, I'm just showing you now kung ano yung itsura ng quality management system. So, again, this is the list ng lahat ng requirements na kailangan natin gawin. So, I'll just show you. Again, this is published by the Singapore Standards. So, ang bawat country po ay merong mga responsible organizations or group na nagmamanage ng ISO, nagmamanage ng mga standards. So in the Philippines, meron din. Kung sino yung mga nagpapublish, it must be acknowledged by a certain group. So dito sa Singapore, it should be published by the Spring Singapore. Lahat ng standards. So quality management system. So I'll run through a requirements dito sa ISO 9000. So basically, ganito yung itsura niya. So it explains lahat ng clauses, so dito sa and mandatory clauses. It should be published sa standards. Organization and quality management system. So so again, ISO ito kailangan natin ng isang linggo para pag-usapan lahat itong mga bagay na to. So again, every clause niyan meron siyang mga certain shall items. When we talk about shall in ISO, kailangan gawin. Meaning mandatory. So if you don't do that, that would be a non-conformance in ISO, right? So if you have time, you can take a look on this one, or if this is applicable on what you do, or your responsibilities, your scope, or your task. Pwede po ninyong balikan ito and tingnan ninyo kung how the ISO itemize all the requirements. Yeah. Okay, so in a nutshell, ito yung buod ng quality management system. Alright? So every process po, meron tayong isang linyang ganyan. So ito yung customer requirements. Ano ba ang requirements ng ating customers? So for your context, education, sino ang customer natin? We have internal and external. Your external parties are your requirements. Meron silang kanya-kanyang requirements. Your students are your customers, right? And then this is the result of your quality management system. And then when we do the quality management system, kailangan din nating tignan yung organization and its context. Ano ba ang konteksto ng inyong organization? Ano ba ang scope ng ating standards? Ano ba ang needs and expectations ng relevant interested parties? So kailangan natin yang i-list down para ma-achieve natin yung customer satisfaction and products and services. So again, nandito si plan, do, check, and act. And all these red items are basically the clauses under ISO, right? So, nandun si external organization and external and its context. Ito yung kailangan nating i-define. And then that would enter yung planning stage natin. Yeah? Planning. And then leadership also are critical. We need to identify leaders in the organization who will manage the ISO. And then we have the support and operation. When we talk about support, ano yung mga resources needed to do the process? Like for example, today on our webinar, no? So we have Ma'am April, she is facilitating the meeting. So these are the resources. Of course, the Google Meet is one of the resources that we're using. That's why we're able to do this webinar globally, right? And then after you do your operations, of course, there should be performance evaluation. Performance evaluation is basically your checking. Nandito papasok si audit or si internal audit. So performance evaluation, I think everyone in your context as educators, meron din tayong performance evaluation, right? At the end of the school year, meron tayong performance whether we have achieved our key results indicators or KRA, ano yung mga goals natin for the year, if we are able to meet those, yan yung ating performance evaluation. And then after that, we review, titignan natin ano yung mga things na kailangan pa natin i-improve, and that is our improvement. All right? So we ensure customer satisfaction or improvements of our products and services. So napakalawak ito na topic, but if we try to dig deeper and make sure that this is part of the way we do things, it will become easier. So ang ISO po, I believe you are now in the second year of implementation. So ang daming challenges now in terms of ISO. Nagkaroon tayo ng changes in terms of doing the audit dahil sa restrictions on pandemic. So hindi pwedeng mag-visit, so we do virtual audit. So now it's becoming a thing in international standards. But meron pong international standards na hindi pwedeng gawing virtual audit. It should be physical audit, especially for critical industries. So for non-critical industries, pwede po natin gawin yung virtual audit. So it's happening around the world. So like last 2 weeks ago, we did audit sa Australia facility and then sa aming Jakarta facility. So we do virtual audit. So kailangan ng technology, so kailangan ng video to capture kung ano yung processes na kailangang tignan, right? And of course, the documentation. So through the use of technology, everything is becoming easier, right? Okay, so that is quality management system. So again, mahirap siya na madali. Okay? So probably in the beginning, mahihirapan ka, pero napakadali po ng quality management system. We just need to ensure that we follow the specific requirements of the standards. Gawin lang natin and incorporate natin yon sa lahat ng processes natin. So I remember when I visited the DepEd office last time. Ang daming changes, right? Na pinabago yung mga cabinets, pinabago yung mga layouts, because that is standards, right? So even in other industries, kapag meron tayong mga audit identified or things to improve or areas to be improved, so ito yung mga kailangan natin gawin. Because again, quality management system is continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. So para mas ma-improve pa natin yung system, gawin natin kung ano yung mga bagay na kailangan pang improve. But again, the driving force of implementing quality management system is of course one, customer satisfaction. So we ensure na kailangan ang ating mga customer are satisfied. And then, meron tayong quality products and services. So yun yung pinaka-goal ng quality management system. All right. So again, I recommend that you continue to take a look on this quality management system. Kung hindi man siya applicable sa inyo, just read through kung ano yung requirements. You can search it in Google or internet. And then take a look kung ano yung requirements. This might be applicable in the future. So you might be one of those internal auditors identified, or either baka yung school mo ang bibisitahin ng auditor next time. So you ensure that your classroom or your school are compliant to the standards, right? So it's a challenging thing. It's a challenging and it's enjoying thing. Napaka-enjoyable na bagay na gawin. All right. So, dahil sa pandemic, maraming mga companies are affected. So again, what is the impact of COVID-19 on businesses? So marami, no? So there's a domino effect on the businesses. We have global tourism being affected. So ang dami-daming tao na gustong mag-holiday pero hindi makapag-holiday or makapag-travel. Business because of the COVID pandemic, because of COVID restrictions. Travel industry, hospitality industries, ay isa sa mga affected na industries, no? Hindi lamang yon, pati yung mga low-paid na employees that nasa construction. I think you are guys, you are very blessed because you are in an education system, and then the government of the Philippines is securing every teacher to ensure that you have all jobs. But across other part of the continents, other part of the world, marami pong na-retrench, either in education industry or in manufacturing or construction. Maraming na-retrench. Airline industry dito sa Singapore, ang daming unemployed. Ang dami din pong mga kababayan nating OFW na umuwi na sa Pilipinas because they've lost their jobs. So, napakahirap, napaka-challenging ng panahon ngayon. So, marami sa mga companies, including these items, these companies, I think you know all of them, right? Muji, itong isang Japanese company selling Japanese products, quality products. C. Foley, Australia, ito yung largest swimwear brand sa Australia. Aldo, Zara, Spree. We have H&M, I think you know some of this. Robinsons, Victoria's Secrets, Guess, Nissan. These are some of the companies na nag-declare ng bankruptcy or downsizing. Pinaliit nila yung company, they're closing their stores globally just to ensure that they are still afloat during this pandemic. So hindi na ho nakayanan. Lahat, sa ibang company, they really closed down. So dahil dyan, ang daming mga retail assistants, daming employees na nawalan ng work. So in the US, Chesapeake Energy is one na nag-file ng Chapter 11 bankruptcy. So again, Chesapeake is isa sa biggest in terms of oil and gas industry. So ang dami-daming mga companies globally na affected. So we're still very blessed that we're still having our jobs and we're still earning sa ating mga trabaho and we're able to feed our family. Pero marami po, probably certain percentage in every country are affected. So sa Pilipinas, we would say that we're still quite advanced in terms of education. Kanina na-mention po ni Sir Carlos that everybody, all teachers were given cell phones. But just imagine countries in Africa, some developing countries in Asia, wala silang finance to do that. I think it's only in Jansan, right? The support of our local government unit in Jansan, but other cities or other municipalities, the low-income municipalities, ano yung mga challenges nila? So they don't even have technology to do it. They don't even have Wi-Fi to have this kind of session. So ang dami challenging, no? Now, dito sa Singapore, when the start of COVID-19, nag-release din sila ng standards. Ito yung tinatawag natin na business continuity planning. So, I think you're familiar with this. Meron din kayong education continuity planning, di ba? So, I think everyone is familiar. You did your planning kung paano pa i-continue yung providing service education to your students and involving lahat ng mga stakeholders, parents, government units, and then the students, no, to ensure na continuous pa rin yung learning ng mga bata. Yun naman ang goal natin, di ba? So we want not let education stop kasi challenge yan. So we don't know what will happen in the next 2 years, but definitely it's changing. The business landscape is being changed because of COVID-19. So, dito sa Singapore, nag-release yung government ng business continuity planning. Again, if you see this, there is an ISO standard there. Business Continuity Management System Requirements. That's ISO 22301. So, nakalink pa rin siya sa standard. So, globally, lahat ng mga standards are now incorporating COVID-19. This is totally unprecedented. Hindi natin alam na ganito kalaki yung impact niya. That's why most of the companies were not able to identify this risk. So now it's being incorporated. So expect that on the next 2 to 5 years, maraming pagbabago. Like for example now, ang daming realization now in terms of business. No, na, like for today, I'm working from home. I'm working from home and I do meet a lot of people globally in Asia Pacific or in UK, Later this lunch, I'll have a meeting with UK people, and then sorry, Australia, and then at 4 p.m. I'll be meeting our colleagues in United Kingdom. So ganun siya. Ang daming realization sa companies now na merong mga bagay pala na hindi pala kailangang nasa office. So expect that in the next 3 to 5 years, businesses will become leaner. Ibig sabihin, mas maliit yung manpower because everything is being outsourced. Dito sa Singapore is very common, no? So merong isang company na isang tao lang ang nagmamanage, but it's a bigger company. So everything is being outsourced. Human resources outsourced, IT is outsourced. Konti lang yung organic employees nila. So everyone is inorganic. So it's outsourced. So that's very common. So ang daming realization yan. So even human resource manual or guides is also changing because of COVID-19, right? So napakalaki talaga ng impact ng coronavirus, COVID-19 sa ating mga businesses. Okay, so ano yung mga businesses so kahit na nasa pandemic tayo, parang negative lahat ang nakikita natin, we still see opportunities, right? Ganun naman tayo, no? I think ang Pinoy is generally mataas ang resiliency rate natin, right ba? So, during pandemic, ang daming mga businesses na nag-champion, no? Ito yung mga essential or supermarkets. So, dito sa Singapore, ang daming supermarkets na naging billionaire because of COVID, right? So, there are products na nag-shoot up off the roof and zero stocks on a shelf. These are sanitizing products, masks, everything, or any services related to sanitation because of the virus. And then there's also a shoot up on online retail. We have Amazon, Lazada, Shopee, and Fingo. So Fingo is also one item that we are promoting. It's personally, I am doing this Fingo, so it's helping me in a way that it augments my income. So marami pa, no? We have Grab Food also increasing. Zoom technology is also being #1 in terms of workspace solutions. So dahil nga lahat are working from home, so Zoom was used globally, no? Even Google Meet. So maraming mga businesses are winning. So again, yun yung realization natin. In the middle of the trial, we have to look on the opportunities, right? Now, that is the impact to business. Now let's move on the impacts to education. So again, as I've mentioned, swerte po tayo, like we are in a developing country, we are having advanced internet, we are having access to technology. But consider those countries na wala po, no? Let's say compared to African countries, paano nila? What are the challenges? According to the United Nations, meron pong 94%, approximately 1.5 billion formal learners, mga estudyante po na affected ng COVID-19. So either wala sila sa school, they're working, or totally closed the schools. So how do we respond? Even in the Philippines, the national government meron ding guidelines on how we continue to serve yung ating mga students. But even local government units, they have also their own specific guidelines. And even shelling out monies, like for in Janssen, you're given cell phones, right? Para magamit natin sa ating pag-provide ng serbisyo, mag-continue yung ating serbisyo. Now, ano naman ang mangyayari? What is the future like for education to a pandemic and post-pandemic lens? So, anong mangyayari? What will happen? So, these are some of the items that is changing, okay? So, we talk about the educational landscape is changing. One is, of course, educational policy. So, kailangan yung mga policy makers natin, it could be government or regulatory group, kailangan they have to plan ahead on how we ensure policy and education, to ensure that our quality education is still being served to our students. Yeah. So education policymakers need to consider current global trends and the economic and social ambitions of their citizenry as they set out the future agenda for education. So hindi lamang in the Philippines, hindi lamang in South Asia and Singapore and other countries, lahat ng mga stakeholders involved on how to ensure that our education is still growing. So maraming mga realizations. Another changing education landscape is the use of technology in our classroom. So I know in the Philippines, hindi pa tayo bumabalik sa school, right? But here in Singapore, balik na sila sa school. So the use of technology in the classroom is now a global trend. It will continue to grow. So ngayon, I think in General Santos or in some other areas, they're using radio, online, cellular phone to ensure that you send modules to your students and ensuring that they are still sumusunod doon sa inyong module. So maraming modality na kailangan pwedeng gamitin to ensure there's a continuity in education. So a global trend now is using technology in the classroom. Some classrooms are using LED, or some using internet or iPad. Everyone is provided. So some international schools here in Singapore, everyone is provided. So again, because of the pandemic, ang daming disparities na nakikita, no? Those countries that are advanced and those countries who are still developing. So the disparities become apparent in terms of delivery ng education. Kasi paano na lang yung walang budget? Paano na lang yung walang access to internet? So wala, paano nila i-continue yon? So consider those countries. Paano? So we're still very lucky dito sa Asia that we still have access to internet or having innovations in our schools. Online education moves forward. So marami po ang trend ngayon is using technology and education. So I think there are even universities that is solely online. Yeah? Universities of the people. You can have your diploma or certificate just through doing it online, right? So these are online degrees available. So it's changing. It's changing. So are we gearing towards that direction? So titingnan natin, we will incorporate this when you do plans in your ISO. Shifting roles of students, parents, and teachers. So maraming changes ngayon, right? So ngayon, maraming parents are heavily involved in educating their kids. So they become tutors, they become coaches to the students. Now the question is, paano yung parents na hindi alam yung mag-coach ng kanilang estudyante? So what will happen? These are the challenges na kailangan nating i-incorporate when we do planning sa ating ISO improvements. All right, so again, maraming changes. Global disruption in education caused by the rapid spread of COVID-19 highlighted the weaknesses and lack of resilience sa system. So maraming school ang hindi respond right away. Hindi lamang dyan sa General Santos or sa Pilipinas, but even on other parts of the world. Maraming mga cities ngayon na hindi pa bumabalik. No? Hindi pa nila na-provide yung quality education services sa mga estudyante. So again, policymakers, decision makers must ensure that these are incorporated para sa planning nila. No? Para, of course, we want to see kids na they will grow to be educated, because our kids right now are our future. Kung hindi natin mag-invest on education, what will happen in the future? 5, 10 years from now, ano yung mangyayari sa mga estudyante natin? No? So we have to ensure that they are equipped well in terms of the readiness to be in the outside world. Right? Okay, so ito ay ilan lamang sa mga changing landscape ng education because of the impact of pandemic. So marami pang iba. So again, ano ang role natin bilang educator to this one, bilang isang teacher? So probably we can suggest improvements, things. So We are doing this webinar to share our expertise. You're doing discussions with your heads and asking for suggestions on how we ensure quality services to our students. So pinag-uusapan kung ano yung mga improvements, ano yung continual improvements that we need to do to ensure na continue pa rin yung pag-aaral ng ating mga estudyante. Okay, so how to be resilient? Again, let me share this slides to you. Okay, so I'm making an acronym on this one, COVID, right? So how to be resilient? I think some of you are doing this, and generally Filipinos are resilient, right? Dahil ang dami nating challenges. Merong bagyo, may vulkan, may lindol. No? So marami. So again, every country, they have their own challenges. Dito sa Singapore, lucky Singapore is not experiencing all these issues. No? Walang vulkan dito, walang earthquake dito, walang tsunami dito, because it's a very small country. So it's very secure. But again, there are also challenges because businesses here are Singapore is considered a hub in Asia, or Southeast Asia. So businesses, government must ensure that businesses are working well, government services are delivered with quality and efficiency. All right, so C for compassion, O for optimism, versatility, ingenuity, and distress. So this is how to be resilient. So to remember that easily, remember COVID acronym. Okay, how to be compassionate. So of course, to be resilient, we need to be compassionate. So we need to empathize yung ano yung mga nangyayari. So all teachers are still blessed. You're still having your jobs. But some of your, either your neighbors, kapitbahay ninyo, probably your husbands are being affected, or probably your relatives, OFW relatives are affected. So ano yung role natin? We have to ensure na natutulungan natin yung ating mga kapitbahay. We even share. So ang dami-daming nangyayari, like even ngayon, in the middle of the pandemic, meron pang typhoon, merong earthquake. So you can see how people around the world are very compassionate. So help to the Philippines or certain areas are pouring. Maraming mga tulong ang dumarating, no? So again, it's a golden rule. Treat others the way you would like them to treat you. So just remember that we have to be compassionate. The next one is optimism. So we seek to find beauty in the situation and find the silver lining, right? So positive thinking doesn't mean you're in denial about reality of a situation. It's a tool that helps you face challenges, focusing on solutions instead of becoming overwhelmed by fear or hopelessness. So just imagine 100 years ago, a century ago, there was also a pandemic, right? I think you know that. Just imagine if we try to imagine our current context. Ang daming issues, ang daming cases, ang daming namatay sa pandemic. But minus the technology, just imagine we bring ourselves 100 years ago. Wala tayong access to information. Probably that time walang internet, walang telephone, walang television. Wala lahat, no? We don't know what's going on in the world. Hindi natin alam kung paano, but there is fear. Kasi paglabas mo, and if you are infected, talagang walang mangyayari. It would be death kaagad, no? Unlike today, our hospitals are still very advanced. Ang daming mga hospitals na mayroong very good facilities to ensure na services are given, health are given to the people. So, in the middle of the pandemic, positive pa rin tayo. We continue to think positive, no? So, maraming mga challenges man ang nangyayari, but we consider to be positive in everyday lives, no? Versatility. So, we seek to adapt or to be adapted to different situations, functions, and activities. Continue to challenge and reinvent ourselves. So ngayon, ang dami, di ba? Ang daming additional role as teachers, ang daming roles. So paano yung mga nawala ng work? So they have to be versatile. So dito sa Singapore, maraming affected na industry like airline. So nawalan ng work yung mga flight attendants natin, and now they are working in a different industry. Kung ano yung mga pwede nilang gawin. So we have to be versatile so that we can survive on this pandemic. Ingenuity. We seek to solve difficult problems and situations. So kailangan resourceful tayo. So I think ito ang sinabi ko kanina, innate to sa Pilipino, no, na very ingenious tayo. Kung ano yung merong resources tayo, then we work out with the resources para i-deliver pa rin natin yung ating mga services. Distress. So we also need to find time, to take care of ourselves by making our physical and mental health a priority during this time. Again, ang COVID-19 po ay hindi joke. Nakakamatay po siya. No? So perhaps some of you have relatives or you know someone who died because of COVID. So nakakamatay siya. It's something that is nakakatakot. Right? So again, ang daming issues going around the world. But we have to ensure that our physical and mental health is our priority. So we have to find time to relax, to slow down, kailangan huminga, no? So we have to breathe, take it easy, enjoy life, and smile. So these are basically things that we can do to ensure that we are distressed, right? Para continue yung ating buhay or yung ating trabaho. And of course, the most important one is to exercise our faith, right? Regardless of whatever religion we follow, we have to exercise our faith. So it was written in Matthew 17:20, faith can move mountains. So even if we are in the middle of a challenge, we know that God is there. Our God is always there to protect us. So we have to continue to hold on to what God promises us. So of course, we will do our part as well to ensure that we are also safeguarding ourselves, our family. So iwasan muna natin yung mga unnecessary activities, practice social distancing. We have to ensure that, hand washing and everything are being followed, right? So in conclusion, international standards bridge the gap between businesses, allowing mutual understanding of the quality of trade between suppliers and buyers, facilitating greater communication and even improving the economy. So lahat ng standards now are being reshaped because of COVID-19, incorporating requirements to ensure that COVID-19 is being taken care of. So lahat ng processes natin, lahat ng system natin are incorporated. No? Even businesses dito sa Singapore, you cannot go anywhere without scanning your QR code. Before you enter a certain area, you have to scan your QR code. So marami. So again, maraming style systems na ginagawa depende sa konteksto kung nasaan man tayo ngayon. Right? So with concerted efforts of all stakeholders, government, policymakers, and citizens, along with our great resilience, compassion, and ingenuity, and great faith in God, of course, we will get through this unprecedented crisis of our generation. So again, kaya natin to, and whatever challenges that we have now, we have something to tell our future. Probably in the next 10 years, your kids, yung mga apo ninyo might be asking you, anong kwentong COVID ninyo? So probably kukulangin yung buong araw para ikwento natin kung ano yung ating mga COVID experiences. Kung ano yung nararanasan ninyo ngayon na struggles being teacher, on how we deliver education to our kids. Marami sa inyo, we have visited our kids' houses. Kailangang pumunta sa bundok, kailangan pumunta, mag-cross ng ilog, or ang dami-daming challenges, no? Yan ay inyong COVID kwento 10 years from now, or probably in your generation, in the future generation. So marami tayong mga kwentong pwedeng i-share. So again, thank you so much for giving me opportunity to share my expertise on ISO, and I hope you will continue to improve your processes through the implementation of quality management system ISO 9001:2015. So in case you need help in terms of the implementation, I'm always here. I even mentioned that to Mom Juliet, to Sir Lito, that I can help you out if you need help. I'm always here. So Dr. Lito is a friend of mine. So he talked to me last time na kailangan share. Without hesitation, I said yes. So kahit na maraming challenges, no? But I know in my little way, I can share how ISO would help you in terms of your delivery of your products and services to your internal and external customers. Hindi lamang yon, ISO is also applicable in our daily lives. Remember the plan, do, check, and act. So in everything that we do, we wake up in the morning, we do planning, right? And then we exercise that one. We plan, we do, we check at the end of the day, ano yung mga bagay na nagawa natin. And then we do act. So bukas, ito na naman ang gawin natin. So that is continual improvement. Thank you so much for inviting me today. So if you have time, follow me in Facebook, Reynald, or follow Fingo Philippines. This is something that we definitely can help you out. Is something that would augment your income. So if you are interested in doing that, you follow me in Facebook and Fingo Philippines, and we talk about how we can help each other in doing the business or doing this Fingo, augmenting your income. So that would be all for this morning. Thank you so much.
Okay, there you have it, Sir Reynald Alpajando. Thank you so much, sir. Virtual clap for you, Sir Reynald.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, teacher participants, if you have a question for Sir Reynald, this is the time na makater niya po ang inyong mga questions regarding po sa talk ni Sir Reynald about the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on international standards, business and education landscape. Or what is your takeaway, no, doon po sa talk na binigay ni Sir Reynald? Okay. Puro pasasalamat po, Sir Reynald, na nababasa ko sa chat box. Thank you daw po.
Maraming salamat din po for the chance.
Thank you so much, Sir Reynald, for sharing your insights and expertise with us. Truly inspiring. That came from Ma'am Juni Satrazo. Okay. Congratulations and God bless from Ma'am Melanie. Ma'am Annabelle, thank you. Okay. Thank you, sir. Good sharing. Okay. So, puro pasasalamat po, Sir Reynald, ang ating nababasa mula sa chat box, mula po sa ating mga guro dito sa General Statistics Division.
So again, if you have questions about ISO, you can reach me through Facebook. You can send me a message and I will assist you in terms of the ISO requirements and how it can help you when you do that work. So probably in one of these days, probably you'll be part of the ISO team in Tep Ed. So in case you need help, you just reach out. Meet me through Facebook or Fingo Philippines. Thank you. Thank you, Sir Lito, for inviting me. So kung wala pong tanong,
we will go to Singapore na next year.
Sure, you're very welcome here. So if you happen to come to Singapore, you just let me know. I can tour you around. I can help you with your probably visiting places here in Singapore. So I would love to see you here, guys, especially yung mga teachers ko from elementary or high school. If you want to come here, so just let me know. You can contact me through Facebook and we'll tour you around.
Thank you so much, Sir Reynald. Hopefully, sir, when the pandemic is lifted, we can visit Singapore.
Oo nga.
Okay. Opo, sir. Okay, so let me present to you your certificate, sir. We will just have this virtual, tawag ito, giving you the certificate since we cannot give it personally. Sir Ian, please have the presentation. Okay, sir, let me read to you the content of the certificate. Certificate of recognition is presented to, in grateful recognition for his valuable and support, he extended as resource speaker the webinar for effective distance education for social science teachers held on November 12, 2020 via Google Meet, General Santos City. Given this 12th day of November 2020 at General Santos City, Philippines. Signed, Hermelito G. Flores, CESO 5, our schools division superintendent. Certificate of recognition is proudly presented to Reynald B. Alpajando. Thank you so much, Reynald.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. I see some questions here in the chat box. There's asking kung unsa daw nako si Ma'am Lilita Lagura. She's po my sister. Po si Ma'am Lilita
Ako ang
Lagura.
sir ba, pero ito sa basa mo ko.
Again, thank you, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. And I hope to catch up with you when I go back sa Pilipinas and if you come here sa Singapore. Kasi at this time, hindi pa pwedeng mag-travel. So there's a lot of restrictions. So we probably wait until everything is okay. And hopefully we get the vaccine so everybody will be safe, right? So again, anywhere you are, whatever you do, you keep safe and ensure that your family are also keep safe. And yeah, so we'll continue to go with our lives and be positive, right? Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, there you have it. Our first speaker for this webinar, Sir Reynald Alpajando, fresh from Singapore. Okay. So Sir Lito, proceed tayo for the next speaker.
Yes, kaya naghintay na siya.
Okay, so kanina po nandito ang ating speaker. Our second speaker for this webinar, Sir Ian. Let's have the presentation.
Meron siyang bio notes na naka-PowerPoint April.
Yes, sir. I will let Ian present the bio note of our next speaker. Then, pagkakain ko rin po ang presentation or konting information about our second speaker. So our second speaker was awarded as Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Teacher in 2012 and the ACES awardee in 2019. He gained contribution in International School Awards for contribution at international stage in 2019 at Dubai, UAE. Okay, kung nakikita niyo
I-move
dyan
yung slides niya.
Okay, kung nakikita niyo dyan sa ating slides. Okay. Ayan, so is being awarded as the contribution at international stage at International School Awards Dubai. That's in December 2018. And she proudly represents the Philippines at the 4th E2 Education Exchange during the awards ceremony held at Singapore's Gardens by the Bay Flower Field Hall. Okay, kung nakikita niyo dyan sa ating presentation. Okay. So, a cultural exchange and arts at Mount View Middle School. She is a Fulbright Fellow at Arizona State University and a National Geographic educator at the same time. A mother of two. Ladies and gentlemen, fresh from USA, Miss Marivi Lim. Good morning, ma'am.
Hi, good morning. I hope I'm in.
Wala, anong oras na dyan, Ma'am V?
Ano pa po, sir? 7:13, November 11. Yeah.
Grabe, no.
I hope
Thank
could
you.
hear me. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sir Lito. So good morning, everyone. And it's a pleasure working with you. And there's no place like home. So I'm really overwhelmed when Dr. Edansa invited me. I really say yes, kahit madaling araw pa yan. So today I will be sharing to you the heart of the education, and that is the teacher. So I will be speaking more about the support that we are giving to our teachers. So I'll try my best to share my screen. Here we go. So, 10, wait. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Marivi. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going back. Okay, here we go. So from the beginning. Okay. So good morning, Philippines, mabuhay. So today I will be working on about how to on effective distance teaching learning for teachers. So here we go. This is our session's outline. For an overview, we will be talking about the how to on effective distance teaching learning for teachers. Connecting the dots, we will be discussing more about the challenges we are facing and the solutions we're making for it. And then number 3 is less is more. This is the teacher's choices and the tech tools we're going to use. Okay, and then the power of we. Okay, the impact of collaboration, mentoring, and feedback. And of course, us matters or everyone matters. Okay, we will be discussing about social and emotional support. There we go. So here we go. We start with when we speak about our overview, it talks about the teacher person now, that how we run our education in this call of times, right? So we have a lot of things to consider. No? Sabi nga, a part that we have to rush, no, to literally rush in making our modules because we have to answer, okay, the immediate need for our students. We never stop the education despite of the COVID that we have right now. So hindi lang po sa Pilipinas, buong mundo. And of course, if you're thinking about that, parang talagang backlog si Pilipinas, to tell you it isn't. Okay, lahat po, we share the same dilemma, we share the same challenges and everything. But if you have noticed, it's been how many months since the day we struggled because we try to connect the dots. Here, these are the challenges and the solutions that I'm going to share. First one, we're talking about the content, activities, and outputs, and others that we engage our students. So quality versus quantity. It's not only in our country that we argue sometimes or we try to check and balance. Okay, ano bang mas importante? Maubos ba lahat yung curriculum? Okay, yung hahabulin for us to complete at the end of the year or at the end of the term? Or what is the quality we're giving to our kids, no? Because overwhelmed masyado, no? So much, ang daming ginagawa. We forgot that we are in a crisis time. So dapat ano ba ang pwede lang sana, okay? So yung tapos na tayo sa facing na, we have to plan what to do, how to start it, how to survive in the first few weeks or months, no, in terms of educating and the family, the community, and of course sustaining the education of our school children. So yung content natin tinitingnan, sapat ba siya, kulang, sobra. Okay, me, I have 2 girls. My eldest is in college and my youngest daughter is in 12th grade. Talagang stress po, no? So it's also a reminder that na we try our best, no, na We make our kids master the skills we're teaching them. Okay? Pero face-to-face yun, nahihirapan tayo, diba? What's more, with a lot of factors to consider, that we have our online classes, modular type pa siya, no? And then, kawawa nga din kasi nagbagyo, di ba? So, lahat ng mga materials natin, no, nabasa pa yung iba. So, it's always been a challenge. Looking back at that, ano bang goal natin? Okay, in terms of education, what is really essential? Okay, dapat ba ubusin? Ilan lang bang dapat na skills ang dapat matutunan o yung sa curriculum natin na dapat maituro, no? So we are learning, okay, as a nation, as globally we're learning together, and this is one of the collaboration we are giving and sharing for all of us teachers, no? Including the families out there and students that they are watching right now. Okay, so ganun po ang limitations niyan, paano, no? Because dito po sa amin, very crucial po ang turning out of materials na yung pagkuha para i-check, no? Yun po ang struggle because of contamination. Very strict po talaga dito, especially now na tumaas po ang rate, no, ng COVID issue natin. So ganun din po, if we give this type of activity, anong content niya, how the kids are doing it, how the parents are going to help, di ba? So, yun siya, case-to-case basis, okay? Number 2, okay, one of the challenges that I saw na pinagdaanan din namin is family and home context. Okay, na-mention ng first speaker natin kanina si Sir Ray, no, iba-iba ang background din, no? Tsaka si ASDS kanina, I listened to his message, iba-iba ang background. And si teacher, she has so much or he has so much already na minsan nami-mislook yung dapat, ganito po yun ma'am, ganito, ganyan, no? So, yung family and home context is one of the challenges we have. Hindi rin siya excuse that the family nakatapos ng college, may enough time para sa mga anak because yung level ba ng saan sila nagmi-meet, both families are earning, no, are working for the family, to support the family. At kaya nga na they sent the kids to school, no, for teachers to help, but because of this pandemic, they have to play the role, no? Anda, 'di ba? Ang daming meme. Kahit nga dito sa amin, ang dami rin, no? So, how we struggle for the family and home context. So, ang daming factors to consider. So, si teacher, hindi mo naman pwedeng i-embrace lahat. I'm still a classroom teacher and I go through this same thing kung anong pinagdadaanan ng bawat guro sa Pilipinas at sa ibang lugar. Okay? Next one is yung support. No? Sa atin, nakita natin yung support ng department when we started this preparation, and then yung stakeholders and the community, how we started to support. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Okay, so hopefully everything will come to an end, and although life will never be the same again, I hope when we go back to the normal cycle, they said, we value more life itself. Okay, so ito po yung few of the 3 na I weighed na talagang challenges siya for us teachers in implementing, okay, the quality of education that we wanted. Okay, so here we go. Our next slide. You tell me if I'm too fast. Okay, this is one of our concerns too, no? Ito yung nag-ugat lahat apart from the pandemic. Schools are closed and children are learning from home. Okay, despite that our kids in the country are staying home, iba naman po yung setup ng family natin sa Pilipinas, no? We have extended family na it's both positive and negative impact in this time, no? Dahil nga sa contamination, but how we are able to have the kids, no? Meron sila kahit papaanong normal life, no, sa loob ng bahay kasi nandun ang family. So, ito yung nakita natin, no? So, anong problema sa saradong eskwelahan? Dito po where the government is providing breakfast, lunch to the kids. So, may free food kami sa mga bata. Isa din yun siya na problema. If they don't come to school, feeding is another program na talagang dapat siya i-deliver. So, nagpipick up ang mga magulang ng pagkain. Okay? So, this is the problem. This is the fixed mindset. And this is the growth mindset, and of course, the innovation mindset. I know you're familiar with this mindsetting. Okay, I always believe with the law of attraction, kung ano yung iniisip mo, yung ina-attract mo, di ba? So, ganun po. So, we're trying our best as teachers, no, na talagang firm ka, solid ka, kasi nakasandal sa iyong buong bayan, no? So, looking at this perspective, so schools are closed, children have to stay home, hindi lang yun siya enough that we just keep modules for them to work on, okay? So may factors pa how to communicate. Hindi naman lahat, no, because of the status of the family status, economic status. So hindi ho lahat, no, na flawless yung communication and the help that we're giving our kids, okay? So this is a good thing na we give ourselves ba na, wow, despite of the problem, I have some perspective na positive, okay? Next. We're talking here about technology. Less is more. Our learners all over the world are experiencing a variation of instructional modalities, either in person, blended learning, modular, or fully online. Okay, or even none at all. Okay, that would be the saddest thing. Here right now for our quarter 2, we provided the kids the packets, no, yung modules sa atin. Okay, the manner of monitoring their progress, yun din, no, struggle din siya, but we try to work it out na mapicturean yung output nila, no, so there's a lot of ways in order for us to check and, you know, assist the kids. Okay, with what's going on, it's really a massive adjustment and more time to educate about the tech tools to use. So remember, when we introduce something new, we have to teach the process how to use the certain apps, certain platform to our children. And apart from that, we also have to teach our parents. Okay, and it is more important more than ever for us all teachers to consider our learners' digital access and of course their skills every time we plan for instructions. Kasi the moment we have the apps, wow, as in wow, it's so overwhelming, no? Wow, nakakalula because ang daming pwede, but because of the limitations that we have now, no, wala talagang face-to-face, so let us also consider this factor. Okay, so I have shared some of the things that we are using here. This might be applicable in our country, but if not, I know meron din siyang alternate that what we are using in the Philippines. No, basically, the Google has more. Okay, so hindi na po naiba sa atin yan. The Zoom, I'm sharing now for yung may access sa internet, no? And but I'm not turning my back also for modules. Later, I will also be sharing how to do that. So yung Zoom, we're using Zoom here. So yung Nearpad na si teacher, not necessary, you make your own. So maganda siya and maganda po ito kasi libre. Maliban sa Padlet, although it has free access, but limited siya ng parang 3 or 4. Okay? The Google Arts and Culture, I really like it, although I'm teaching English here. I also, we integrate science, math, and history because of the reading. Okay, kahit po English, ayun, 'di ba? Integrated siya. So I like the Google Arts and Culture. If you have time, you could bring the kids here for virtual field trip. Okay? So ito po yung mga tools natin na libre na especially for the Google, no, na pwede siyang offline to work on. Okay? So next, ito po, this is also from Microsoft. You could work with it online and offline. Okay? So si Flipgrid naman, under rin kay Microsoft, I'm plugging now because I'm also one of the ambassadors and we were trained for this. No? So maganda siya kahit dito. No? It doesn't mean my kids are speaking English. It's so easy. So my community here is a diverse community with learners, no, na they are more of a Hispanic, no, marami din akong Hispanic kids. So turuan talaga, no. So here everything is equal. Everybody is equal for my kids to learn kung anong meron. Okay? And one thing which is good about it, we also exchanges our languages. No, tuturo sila ng kanilang lengguwahe. Okay? And masaya yun, tinuturuan ko rin ng Pilipino eh. So going back to Flipgrid, meron siyang mga ready-made topics that you could use. No, you could choose from it and you could even make your own. Libre siya. And the quizzes, I know some of you are using it. So gagamitin lang natin siya pag applicable, diba? So si Wakelet naman, I hope I read it right. It's ongoing in the community dyan, no? Especially our teachers are really engaging on this. So pwede po, no? Check tayo sa Facebook, may mga grupo na po tayo sa Pilipinas. And of course, Kahoot in 2015, this is one my takeaway coming home from Fulbright program. Ni-launch ko po siya sa SPED. Okay? So, swerte po ako kasi dalawang principal ko, dalawa ang superintendent ko that time as I was with Dr. Lito Adanza and Ma'am Rowena Cabreras when I came home after the program. So, we launched this. So, maganda na siya ngayon because you could play when you say you love it, ito po lang. You have only to choose one. Okay? Huwag mong sabayin lahat because remember, anything you introduce in your curriculum or in your test or your instruction, ituturo mo yun sa mga bata. Going back to our modules, iba naman ang kanyang process, right? So I'm happy I work with some of the modules with Region 12. So nakita ko rin po how teachers plan no, na written halos ang activities nila, no? And then a little bit of using YouTube if they have access, and of course, the radio and television instructions. Okay, so nagbabari siya. And of course, who knows best? You teachers, because you run your classroom, you know your kids. Kung hindi niyo pa sila masyadong kilala, it's time for you to know them better. Okay? So you have to decide using technology, you have to love it, use it well, or leave it when it's not used. Okay? So here we go. The power of we. Okay, this is one of the backbones and the support that we all need as teachers. Okay, so in power of we're talking about collaboration, we're talking about mentoring, and of course, we're talking about feedback. Okay, so we cannot accomplish all that we need to do without working together. That's the power of we. Okay, the teamwork actually parang gasgasan, no? So teamwork, make the dreams work. Okay, so the power of we, ano bang meron dyan, ma'am? Okay, so the most valuable resource that all teachers have is each other. Okay, mentoring. Kahit po nandito ako, I'm so blessed with my community, with Mountain View Middle School teachers that I have. Sobrang support, no? So whatever they have, talagang nagra-run siya sa buong department namin, no? So that is what we needed. Okay, so without collaboration, our growth is limited to our own perspective. And of course, I'm a reflective teacher type. It means that whatever I planned, what activities I give to my school children, after niyan, tinitingnan ko siya. It's a sort of we evaluate our own work. But for me, mas komportable akong sinabing, I would reflect over it. No? So the 3 R's of collaboration, you have the read, the respond, reflect. Okay, what are the others saying about this topic? No, so yun siya, mag-uusap tayo, ano bang progress, ano bang gagawin, and then of course you're no, magre-reflect ka. So how can I add to this task to make it better? Ano bang hindi maganda? Ano bang kailangan ko? Ano ba, need ba ito ng mga bata or ganun po? Okay, and your response, how to do ba, no? So we empower also our learners, okay? As our leaders empowers us, their teachers, okay? Next, I hope I'm not too fast or too slow for everybody, okay? So this one, mentoring, we start this in our school, even with our kids, even sa SPED, we call this body system. So when we say about mentoring, it is about looking at the same direction, okay? We have the goals, it has coaching, kaya di ba may mga mentors tayo, and then we are guided on what to do, but that guidance also leave us a space for self-expression, no? And you have options and you have choices. That's one thing which is good about in mentoring. You are always given options and you know best teachers. And of course, training. Training is very important. No? Nag-hands you for that training. And of course, we are motivated. No, na-mention nga kanina, despite of the COVID problems that we have and the fear that is eating us all up, yan, we're still motivated to do something. And of course, knowledge is always a power, right? So mentoring is also making us grow with the knowledge and the things that we are learning. And of course, support is very important. Okay, anong mangyari ba sa may support? Life will be a little lighter nga, diba? So with all of these steps, success is not that far. Okay, dahil nga may goal ka, may direction ka, may training, may support, and of course you are motivated. So modeling din, no? And our leaders are really realistic, no? Yan ang gustong-gusto ko sa AP. Kaya nung grade 6 ako, best in AP ako. No? So I really like to see things the way it is. Pero yung guidance ba, no, na this is the reality of life, the choices you make, the options provided for you. If there is no opportunity given for you or available, make your own path. Okay? Parang ganun. Okay, next one is feedback. In our culture, feedback is always a struggle. Yes? Hindi pa nakasabi ng feedback, takot ka na, no? Because we are used somehow to hear yung negative feedbacks, but sometimes or all the time, it is a matter of how we say it. Okay, how we mentor, how we say it, and very dito po yung parang nasashock ka, no? One time we had a feedback. I was expecting na parang wow, harsh or something, but no, they not. So they really boost your morale with the good things you do, the strength that you have, but they would not pamper what you need to grow. Okay, so when we say feedback, it is actually an effective way, okay, na we could grow, we could connect, we could correct, and we could improve. Okay, looking at the other side of the coin. Kaya nga meron tayong mentorship, no? May mga mentors tayo. Even here, we have mentors. Okay, so ika nga, I really like this. Sabi, the key to effective feedback lies in our intentions. Okay, and it must be about helping others. Okay, so our secret weapon, ito pa rin po, no? For building the best culture is open and honest feedback, and it doesn't end there. We have to do something about it. Okay? Kasi ang end goal naman natin is, para saan ba to? What's the purpose of this, what we are doing? Okay? Ano ba ang papuntahan nito? What is the real thing behind this, the purpose? Okay? So why I'm doing this? Okay. Next one. Of course, no, children want the same things what we want as teachers or adult. Gusto rin natin tumawa, di ba? To laugh, to be challenged, and of course, to be entertained and delighted. Kaya nga, when we created, no, even an online, it's always a challenge for us, no? Sabihin na, ay, okay, sa ibang bansa, kasi ang technology, ganon, ganito. To tell you, no, we're also struggling on how to keep our kids online, work, just like in a normal classroom, because again, there are a lot of factors affecting, okay, our performance, our day-to-day activity. So yun lang po ang hold natin, kung anong nararamdaman natin, what we go through as teachers, basically ganin din po ang pinagdadaanan ng mga bata. Mas sila, diba? Kasi they're very young. Okay, now, this one is everyone matters. Us matters. Teachers need to take care of themselves in order to be able to take care of their students. Diba? Parang talagang, ay nako, si teacher. Diba, we had a joke na in the morning, ang ganda-ganda mo. Tapos pagdating sa hapon, conjuring na ang itsura, no? So we had really a good laugh at that, and so, no, grabe naman, no? Pero totoo siya, di ba? You're a beauty queen in the morning, and the afternoon, you know, para nang si Annabelle. Okay, here we go. So, we do not wait for that. Okay, ma-mind setting si teacher. So, eto naman is serious talking siya, no? With a lot of sad news that we heard and watch on TV and news about how we, okay, work on our emotional, social, and mental health, nakaka-alarma po. Same as with our students, no? Same as with our children. So eto po, we have to really mindset again, no? Ano ba yung, what are the things I could not control? Okay? And what are the things that I can? Okay? So eto po, ano bang pwede kong gawin ang hindi? So in my own little ways, I see more of what I can rather than what I cannot. So I acknowledge what I cannot control. Okay? So di mo alam, no? So sa atin parang daya. The word resilience is coming back again in this session. Filipinos are known to be resilient. Okay? And we really bank on that feeling na kakayanin natin kahit anong problema, di ba? No? So, because we have support, we will sustain ourselves. Okay. So, here we go. Self-care is giving the world the best of you, teachers, instead of what's left of you. When I got this, I was smiling. Sabi ko, totoo nga, ano, yung parang haggard na si teacher. Because it's not only a part of us, a part of our life being teachers. So we have to take good care of ourselves kasi marami pa tayong mga students na aalagaan in the future. So self-care for educators, I got this, which is real thing. Hey, stop, take a break. No, treat yourself when you need it. Okay, not necessarily going somewhere kasi nga COVID, no, may restrictions, and then somehow try to remember to start fresh every day. It's easier said than done kasi si teacher, meron din siyang asikasuhing family unless you're single, but you have your family too. Okay? So meron ka ring sariling concerns, and same thing with your students. No? So sa teacher, dapat talagang equip ka sa sarili mo. So connect with uplifting colleagues. O yung masyadong toxic, wag mo na. Yung masyadong nega sa buhay, dyan ka muna because I need to be with people who are positive, no? Na, ay, kailangan ko, makita ko pa lang, when I see you're smiling, wow, I'm happy. Now, there are people like that. That's the aura, di ba? And do physical activities you enjoy, gardening, no? And then walking, kahit ikot-ikot sa bahay. And take a break when you need one. Okay? I'm guilty of that because before, because I really wanted to finish my job, hala, tapusin talaga, no? So, no, if we have to take a break, we can be more productive. Okay, use positive self-talk. I can make it. I'm good. I'm seeing life prettier, beautiful, whatever, no? Totoo po yung self-talk. Okay, it's not usual for us Filipinos that we talk, okay, orally talking and other people could hear us, but most of the time we are more of a reflective type person na nag-iisip. Minsan ang lalim-lalim ng iniisip mo, but take a part of that na you're saying something positive about you. Okay, kahit nakikita ng ibang tao nakangiti ka, you know better yourself, right? So, mas alam mo, mas kilala mo sarili mo. Okay, go for a walk or spend time outside. Okay, nature is a healing space, no? Totoo yan. Read a good book, okay? If you like, it's for leisure time for you to read, and then plan an activity to look forward to. Dito natutunan ko yan na, oh my God, it's Friday. So pag Friday, gusto ko maglakad, no? But I'm not driving yet, so maglakad na lang. And of course, spend time with friends and family. This is one of the struggles we have here. Oo, MMK kami because we are so far from our families, but we remember the goal why we are here, no? And then the time that we have to spend here and the purpose why we are here. It's a lot of sacrifice, especially right now na COVID, and we hardly could go home. I really love to go home this year, pero yun nga, no, mahirap. So we have to spend time with friends and family. We value them because time is really passing so fast. No, life is so short and it makes it shorter. No, so we pray for a good life. Leave work at school for the night or weekend. Tayo po, bit-bit ang trabaho sa bahay, especially importante for us, but we learn to manage our time. Okay? So, spend less time on social media. Yan, nakaparanoid na rin po minsan, ano, everything negative. So, spend less time. Kasi nga po, lalo na yung sa amin, buong araw, naka-online class kami, no? So, minsan talagang nilalayo ka na yung phone. Unless I have to talk to my girls, check my girls from time to time, or merong mga students that need help. So, I got it, no? And then, of course, bring healthy snacks and meals. No cola, no soda, right? And be comfortable to saying no to more obligations, in a sense that it's not the number of responsibilities that we have that we are able to say, oh, I'm an effective teacher, I'm an effective leader. It is the quality we're giving. So iba na po ang cycle ngayon. We protect our workers, we protect everybody, our working force, because we would like to be more productive and serve more. Okay, kung hindi makaya, one at a time. Talent natin po yun, yung multitasking, natutuyo po ang brain cell pag napapagod, no? So we have to say no. When it's really necessary to say no, or reschedule this, unahin ko muna to, and when I'm done of this, give me time to rest, then I could do the rest. Okay, here we go. So I put some of the credits things here for you to read. Okay? So maganda po siya. Basa-basa din tayo na ay makakatanggal ng stress, or we learn. Okay? Because we don't have enough time to read, right? Okay. So our summary, we have the how-to and effective distance teaching learning for teachers, connecting the dots, less is more, the power of we, and of course, us matters. Okay, so it's our question and A time. So I will be waiting for your questions. So I hope hindi po ako masyadong mabilis. Okay.
Okay lang po, Ma'am Marivi.
Yeah. I hope I could get back there. I go. Yeah, so yan po.
Okay, Ma'am Marivi, we'll cater your questions now, teachers.
Sana hindi kinakatulog.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay po, paki-chat po sa ating chat box, message sa ating chat box, your questions para po kay Ma'am Marivi about sa kanyang talk this morning, effective distance education during the pandemic. May mga message po dito sa ating chat box, ma'am. Puro thank you and ayan, ma'am, kay Ma'am Michelle Haneo Gula. Good morning, Sir Marivi. Nice to see you daw po.
nice to see you. Okay.
Thank you. Ayan, kay Sir Joel Neri. Thanks, Ma'am Marivi. Nice to see you. Any questions, teachers, para po sa ating speaker, Ma'am Marivi Lim Castro? Sir Lito, what is your takeaway, Sir Lito?
Nahiyatan teachers, please don't be shy. I'm really happy talking to you. Okay. Thank you too. Okay.
Message po dito, ma'am, from Mia Kalub. I really like the power of collaboration, the power of we. Thank you for the precious time. Again, ma'am. From Ma'am Rowena Asiberos, thank you, ma'am. It's inspiring.
By the way, I'd like to add something, dear teachers. I know you would really like, no, lalo na ngayon, in time, who knows, we will be also using our computers or internet, no, mag-online tayo ng klase. Just make sure that you do not pay your apps. Yung ganun nga, no? So because we have a lot of resources online that is safe and free. Okay, and of course, the DepEd, our Department of Education, not only in the central office, but also sa ating Region 12, they're really looking forward to really equip all teachers, okay, na in terms of technology use, a wise technology use, and of course, the improvement of our modules, how we could give it better to our children. Yun naman yung challenge sa atin, no, na pag nakagawa tayo ng module, actually nga, yung libro, di ba, meron pang reprinted, meron pa siyang by next edition, something like that, no? So sa atin, with our modules and the way we teach our students, wag lang po kayo mawala ng pag-asa, no? Literally might be like that, pero actually talaga, tayo, we need much hope than ever. So as weavers of the society, weavers, so the dream weavers of this humanity, dear teachers, Maybe it's easier said than done, but tayo po yung pinagkukunan ng lakas ng mundo, honestly, no? So right now, if you would say it, kahit anong lingwahe, because the goal there is to still educate our children. Nakita po natin yung time unfolded ba, no? Na a teacher is always a teacher. Okay, I have so much pride of this profession. Kaya nga sabi ko, thank you Lord, I'm a teacher.
Yes, ma'am, indeed. Okay, ma'am, wala na po yatang questions coming from our teachers, ma'am. Talagang nag-grasp po nila lahat ng inyo pong insights na na-share para po sa lahat. And we are very lucky to have you, Ma'am Marivi. Kahit po kaiba po ang time zone natin, no? Kasi nasa USA kayo, ma'am, nasa Pilipinas kami. So, good morning dito sa amin, ma'am. Sa inyo is good evening. Tama ba ako, ma'am?
And November 11 pa po dito, ma'am. Yeah.
Po. Okay. Sige, ma'am. Kung dahil wala na pong questions coming from our teacher, okay, meron po ditong nag-share ng kanyang takeaway coming from Mary Rose Monterde. All are very clear. All I can say is thank you for all the inputs. Even teachers are struggling in dealing different issues in our daily lives, connecting to our profession. Your talk means a lot for us today. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Okay.
You're welcome.
Mary Rose Monterde. Thank you, Ma'am Mary Rose. Okay, si Sir Lito. Parang nawala yata si Sir Lito. Nandiyan ka pa ba, sir? Baka CR break lang muna si Sir Lito. Okay, kung Sir Ayan, paki-present po ng ating certificate na ibibigay po natin kay Ma'am Marivi. Okay. Ayan po, Ma'am Marivi. We would like to give you the certificate of recognition and grateful recognition of her valuable and unwavering support. She extended as resource speaker of the webinar for effective distance education for social science teachers during turbulent times, held on November 12, 2020 via Google Meet at General Santos City, given this 12th November 2020. Philippines, signed Remelito G. Flores, CESO 5, Schools Division Superintendent. Certificate of recognition is proudly presented to Marivi L. Castro. Thank you so much, Ma'am Marivi.
Thank you. Yay! Thank you so much.
Si Adam.
Hi! Hi, Bunso. Shout out kay Miss Nova also. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Lito, and congratulations, AP.
Sorry no, sa timing, ha. Sorry, Jun. Kabalo ko sa'yo pa kayo, dira. Pasensya.
It's okay. No problem, Doc.
Pero at least you shared a lot to our teachers. O, Lipay, ang nakita na mo, nagkuhan sila ang taga-spread. May mga comments sila dira o nangutana sa inyo. Or we miss you. We miss you also. Ingat dira, ingat.
Salamat and congratulations ulit. Anytime, Doc Lito.
Yes,
okay,
thank you, B. Thank you.
Magandang Jensen. Okay.
Okay. So there you have it, our second speaker for this webinar. We have Ma'am Marivi L. Castro, fresh from the USA, United States of America. So, Sir Lito, time check, it's 10:51 in the morning.
At least makarest early.
Okay, so sir,
we will start at exactly 1 o'clock.
Okay, for this afternoon session, sa pagpapatuloy po ng ating webinar later, magsa-start po tayo at exactly 1 p.m. kasi meron pa tayong dalawang speaker na pakikinggan coming from South Korea, and we have our very own coming from the Philippines. So I encourage the participants here in our Google Meet na huwag na pong mag-left kasi baka mahirapan po kayo makapasok later. kasi 100 lang po ang ina-admit ng Google Meet. And another one is, do not forget to register. Please type your correct email addresses. Kung naka-caps lock, naka-caps lock. Kung hindi naman po, wag na rin. Ayan, nandyan po ang registration link natin sa ating chat box. Na-send na rin po niya ni Sir Ayan. And for those sa mga naka-live streaming, do not forget to register also. And later, kapag tatapos po ng ating webinar, we will be giving you the link for our evaluation. Okay, that will serve as your attendance para po makakuha kayo ng inyong certificate. Okay? Any announcements, Relito?
Ang our speaker, duha ka speaker, April si Pastor Gichuncho, wala pa siya nakapasok. Hopefully makapasok siya during lunchtime kung may mabakante. Then Dr. Andy Cabodoc also. Wala pa siya nakapasok.
Okay.
And yun yung sabi ni April, yung ating registration link kasi yun ang basis din natin. Tingnan ni si Jaser kasi ang mag-approve ng mga certificates. Hello, Ate Maura Dagkutan from Fatima National High School. May ate. Oh, bisag kuanan ni si ate pero nag-join ng gihapon. Thank you. And other teachers na nag-join. Plus yung iba na hindi makapasok sa ating webinar link, doon tayo papasok sa ating FB live streaming or sa ating YouTube links. Thank you. 12:30, hopefully nakaano na, then para exactly 1 o'clock makastart na tayo ang speaker natin from South Korea. Then para 3 o'clock makastart din tayo sa last speaker natin from the Philippines. Thank you.
Okay. So stand by lang po, teachers, and we will be back at exactly 12:30 later.
Sure, April.
Yes, sure, Marie.
April.
Yes po.
Don't forget to subscribe our AP channel, please.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Andyan sa chat box. Thank you.
Okay po. That's Marie Flor Pacurid, ang gumawa po